Very good evening to you and welcome to the Global News and Atlantic Television Network. To begin, let's take a look at the biggest stories making the headlines today. Police raises alarm over surge in missing persons case. NDLEA NIMASA partner to combat drug trafficking. Tinubu celebrates a PAIG Imokwede at 90. Nigeria's external reserves increased to $40.920 billion. U.S. court sentences 2 Nigerians to 20-year prison terms. West Ham sack head coach Julian Lopetegui. Dotun calls out Sound City over unpaid salaries. And now the news in details. Bayelsa State government has ordered the indefinite closure of all forest activities, including timber logging, floating, and movement in the state of forests. The State Commissioner for Environment, Honorable Abiye Ben Ololo, who disclosed these on Wednesday in Yanagua, said the closure takes effect from 1st January 2025. The move, according to the Commissioner, is in line with the Ministry's mandate to protect and conserve the forest, as contained in Section 4.1 of the Forestry Laws of Bayelsa State 2006. The Commissioner warned that any persons or group of individuals caught taking out forest produce, wood, without permission or authorization shall be apprehended and prosecuted. He added that any vehicle, vessel, or boat used in the conveyance of all forest produce shall be confiscated, including flotation movement of wood on the waterways, and persons on board shall be prosecuted. Operatives of the Delta State Police Command have arrested a young girl, Princess Okoli, and her boyfriend, Prince Atibi, at Asaba, the state capital, for faking her kidnap and collecting a ransom fee of 2 million naira. Police Public Relations Officer of the State Command, Mr. Bright Edafe, disclosed this in a statement on Wednesday, saying that the girl said she faked her kidnap so that they could get money from her parent. Edafe, in a statement, said the command had on 2nd January 2025 received a complaint from one Mrs. Oliko Joy that her daughter, Princess Okoli, left the house on 30th December 2024 and did not return. The statement said the next day, the parents received a call that the daughter had been kidnapped and they demanded a ransom of 2 million naira. The Commissioner of Police, CP Olufemi Abaniwanda, immediately directed the command's Special Anti-Kidnapping and Cybercrime Squad to ensure that the victim is rescued unhurt and the suspect arrested. The Commander, Special Anti-Kidnapping and Cybercrime Squad CSP Labe Joseph, detailed operatives who embarked on an intelligence-led investigation. The statement noted that noted the other suspect, Prince Atibi, was arrested after collecting a ransom of 2 million naira. Upon the arrest of the suspect, he stated that he was not an actual kidnapper, but was playing the script of his girlfriend, Princess Okoli. The girl was arrested and she said that she faked her kidnap so that they could get money from her parent. Both suspects are in custody. The ransom money recovered and the investigation is ongoing. Ogun State Police Command has raised concerns over significant increase in reports of missing persons in the state. The command's spokesperson Omolola Odutola made this known in a statement in Abeokuta on Wednesday. Odutola stated that the command had noticed an unprecedented rise in the number of missing persons across all age groups. She explained that only a small fraction of the individuals had been found, with many regrettably not returning home. The police image maker urged residents to remain vigilant and more security conscious while prioritizing their safety. She further stated that as a proactive and community-oriented force, the command was committed to raising public awareness about these concerning trends. Odutola encourages restless youth to activate the digital communication and sharing features on their mobile devices, especially when traveling or in moments of distress. Committee for the Defense of Human Rights in Osun State has urged Governor Ademola Adeleke to establish robust rehabilitation programs for the 53 prisoners pardoned on December 26, 2024. The CDHR noted that the issue of rehabilitation is not just a necessity but mandatory, as the law stipulated that rehabilitation will provide a pathway to a better and secure future for former prisoners. ATN had earlier reported that Adeleke in December 2024 pardoned Segun Olowo Okere and Sunday Mora Kinyo and 51 other prisoners. Olowo Okere and Mora Kinyo were sentenced to death by an Osun State High Court sitting in Ikuru in 2014 for the theft of fowl and eggs. In a letter addressed to the governor, signed by its Osun State Chairman, Emmanuel Olowu, and made available to newsmen on Wednesday, CDHR urged concerned agencies to take immediate and concerted action towards ensuring that robust rehabilitation programs are established and funded for those pardoned, as stated in a letter of commutation dated December 24th, 2024, while stressing that the re-entry of the prisoners into society presented an opportunity for restorative justice and reintegration. Olowu suggested that the success of the pivotal phase lies in the effective implementation of rehabilitation programs that will support the mental, emotional and vocational development. He also insisted that the prisoners must receive adequate support of successful transition back into their communities. Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency has sealed at least 619 facilities, including mosques, churches, and hotels, among others, for various environmental infractions in 2024. General Manager of LASEPA, Dr. Babatunde Ajayi, disclosed this during a media interactive session in Ikeja, Lagos. Ajayi revealed that noise pollution accounted for 528 of the closures as the agency intensified its enforcement of environmental laws, while he noted significant achievements by the agency in 2024. Ajayi said the agency would double its advocacy for environmental consciousness in 2025, while focusing on stricter enforcement of existing laws. He disclosed plans to intensify actions against noise pollution, enforce anti-smoking regulations by designating smoking and non-smoking zones, and advocate a proper waste management through authorized disposal bodies. He explained that public complaints would be handled more effectively through an expanded complaints center and digital channels, while academic publications and public awareness campaigns would also be increased. Three men, Ikechukwu Ayanwu, Miracle Uwa, and Michael Emmanuel, who allegedly burgled a residence and stole home appliances worth 1.2 million naira, were on Wednesday arraigned by the police. The defendants are standing trial before Ojo Magistrate Court, Lagos, on 4 counts charged bordering on conspiracy, burglary, and stealing. They pleaded not guilty to the charge. The prosecutor, ASP Simon Uche, told the court that the defendants conspired with others, steal at large, and committed the offences on December 31st, 2024 in the Ajangbadi area of Ojo in Lagos. He said the defendants burgled the house and stole items belonging to 2 occupants, Mr. Monday Ogbekulu and Mr. Solomon Benson. According to him, the defendants stole from Ogbekulu a cash sum of 335,000 naira, a manual grinding machine valued at 28,000 naira, a pressing iron valued at 15,000 naira, a face cap and a handbag valued at 22,000 naira. He said the total value of the items stolen from Ogbekulu was 420,000 naira. The prosecutor said the defendants also stole 4 pieces of Nissan pickup tires, a sewing machine, iron rods, a pressing iron, a pumping machine, a barrow, 2 motor batteries. The offences contravene sections 287, 307, and 411 of the Criminal Law of Lagos State 2015. Magistrate Mr. LKJ Lyoni admitted the defendants to bail in the sum of 500,000 naira each, with 2 sureties each in like sum. He adjourned the case until February 5th for mention. Defense headquarters on Wednesday said over 34 terrorists and 6 troops lost their lives during a fierce encounter in Sabongari village, Damboa local government area of Borno State on January 4, 2025. According to a statement by the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, the Islamic State of West African Province and Boko Haram terrorists had launched an attack on troops stationed in the area to retaliate against the recent killing of their commanders and other combatants by troops. Buba said the insurgents riding the motorcycles and gun trucks were met with stiff resistance, with a patrol team returning to base fault the planned ambush. Recall that ATN reported that terrorists linked to the Islamic State West Africa Province killed 6 soldiers in a raid at a forward operating base located in Damboa local government area of Borno State. 2 military officers told newsmen on Monday. Buba added that the air component of Operation Hadinkai conducted air interdictions on the fleeing terrorists, noting that a battle damage assessment carried out confirmed the elimination of 34 terrorists and the recovery of 23 AK-47 rifles, over 200 rounds of 7.62mm ammunition and other weapons. He, however, said the names of the deceased troops have been withheld pending the notification of the next of kin, urging the media to cooperate with them as regards this. Bauchi State Governor Bala Muhammad has reappointed 3 of these former cabinet members as special advisors. This is coming less than 48 hours after dismissing them as commissioners. The appointments, which take immediate effect, were announced in a statement on Wednesday by the governor's special advisor, Media and Publicity, Mokta Kidado. According to the statement, the move is part of the governor's strategy to ensure continuity and leverage the expertise of the former commissioners in advancing his administration's developmental goals. According to the statement, the reappointment officials are Abdul Hamid Bununu, the former Commissioner of Internal Security and Home Affairs, now Special Advisor on Multilateral Coordination and Regional Integration; Usman Danturaki, the former Commissioner for Information and Communication, now Special Advisor on Labor Matters and Contributory Pension Scheme; and Madugu Yalams, the former Commissioner for Agriculture, now Special Advisor on Technical and Vocational Education. The governor emphasized his commitment to effective governance. Governor Mohammed also called on the new advisors to discharge their duties with diligence, transparency, and a renewed focus on improving the lives of the citizens. Bauchi State Police Command has revealed that it recorded 73 suspected cases of sexual and gender-based violence in 2024. The Commissioner of Police, Awal Mohammed, disclosed this during a media briefing at the Command's headquarters, where he reviewed the Command's activities in 2024. Mohammed attributed the success of the investigations to critical information provided by members of the public, describing them as vital partners in the fight against crime. He said the command has implemented crime prevention strategies that blend traditional methods with scientific approaches, including intelligence-driven policing. He added that these efforts have been strengthened through collaborations with sister security agencies and non-governmental organizations to address criminal activities in the state effectively. The Commissioner reaffirmed the Command's commitment to enhancing public trust while ensuring a safer and more secure Bauchi State. Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps Bauchi State Command has arrested 10 suspects for various crimes committed during the Yuletide period. The State Commandant Oloyede Oyerinde made this known on Wednesday in Bauchi while parading those suspects. He said the suspects were arrested for vandalism, rape, and theft. According to him, 7 of the suspects were arrested in December 24 at Zaranda village in Toro local government area for vandalizing the old Naito Tower. Oyerinde said items recovered from the suspects include 6 oxyacetylene gas cylinders, perimeter fencing wire mesh, and part of the vandalized tower. Oyerinde explained that 2 other suspects were arrested on December 31st at a filling station in the Turum area of Bauchi Metropolis for stealing 2 drums. He said the rape suspect was arrested on December 27 for allegedly raping a 12-year-old girl in an uncompleted building in Misau local government area. The commandant commended his personnel for their commitment to safeguarding public infrastructure and warned perpetrators to desist from vandalism and other crimes or face consequences. Oyerinde urged the public to assist the course with vital information to help in the fight against vandalism and other crimes in the state. Federal Capital Territory Police Command has intercepted a white Peugeot 15-seater bus transporting 59 children suspected to have been trafficked. The children were between 4 and 12 years old. A team of policemen led by Deputy Superintendent of Police Sarki Umar was said to have stopped the vehicle with registration number KMC 283ZJ along the Abuja-Kano route on January 6. The driver, Ali Ibrahim, a Kano State resident, and his assistant, Al-Harsan Ibrahim, were apprehended on the spot. Addressing journalists in Abuja on Wednesday, the FCT Commissioner of Police, Tunji Disu, said preliminary investigations revealed that the children who hail from different families in Kano State were allegedly being transported to Nasarawa State under the guise of receiving training. Disu added that the incident has been classified as a case of suspected child abuse and trafficking, given the circumstances and absence of proper documentation or parental consent for the movement of the minors. He reiterated the command's commitment to protecting vulnerable groups, particularly children, from exploitation and abuse in line with the Child's Right Act 2003. Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf has finalized plans to distribute the sum of 3 billion naira to victims of the recent flood disaster across the state. The announcement was made on Wednesday during the 23rd State Executive Council meeting held at the Kano Government House. According to a statement issued by the governor's spokesperson Sanusi Tofa, the funds were part of a federal government intervention grant to states affected by the 2024 flood disaster, including the Federal Capital Territory. Governor Yusuf disclosed that the funds, which had been remitted to the state treasury several months ago, were held in reserve, while the administration worked to identify genuine victims to ensure transparency and accountability in the disbursement process. The governor further revealed that and subcommittees have been constituted to oversee the distribution process across all 44 local government areas, ensuring the funds reach the real victims, he added. The funds were safeguarded to ensure they serve their intended purposes of alleviating the suffering of those directly impacted by the floods. We are committed to prudence, accountability, and responsiveness. The National Emergency Management Agency, and the Kano State Emergency Management Agency, with support from international donor organizations, had earlier conducted assessment to identify the affected areas and victims in the state. The 3 billion naira relief efforts marks a significant step by the state government in addressing the plight of flood victims and restoring normalcy to affected communities. While you're watching the Global News in Atlantic Television Network, we'll be back after this break. To stay with us.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what
I have fought very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war.
Thanks for staying with us. You're watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. And now to the rest of our stories. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has lauded the extraordinary contributions of Pa Frank Abiodun AIG Imokwede as a celebrated cultural icon marks his 90th birthday. In a heartfelt message contained in a statement issued on Wednesday by his Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the president described Pa Ig Imokwede as a national treasure whose legacy has indelibly enriched Nigeria's cultural and literary heritage. Born on January 8, 1935 in Edunabon, Osun State, Mr. Ig Imokwede's trailblazing career has spanned journalism, literature, and public service. As the first Nigerian university graduate to join the Daily Express, his pioneering storytelling style sets new standards for journalistic excellence. President Tinubu highlighted Ig Imokwede's role as Nigeria's first cultural officer and later director of the National Council for Arts and Culture, where he spearheaded Festac 77, a landmark Pan-African cultural event. The president also praised Ig Imokwede's literary works, including Pigeon Stew and Sufferhead, for their universal appeal and profound depiction of the Nigerian experience. These works, he said, have bridged the generational and cultural divides, fostering pride in Nigeria's heritage. The president urged the younger generation to draw inspiration for Ig Imokwede's exemplary legacy of innovation and patriotism. Nigerian Air Force has stated that the country has the competitive and comparative advantage to maintain and restore its fleets to airworthy conditions. The statement issued by the spokesman, Air Vice Marshal Olushola Akimboyewa, on Wednesday, its engineers and technicians have reactivated Odonia DO-228 aircraft grounded for 23 years. Akimboyewa said the reactivation serves as a morale booster for the NAF engineers and technicians, showcasing their ability to undertake complex projects that otherwise would be outsourced to foreign entities. He said the remarkable achievements showcases the expertise and capabilities of NAF engineers and technicians, demonstrating their ability to restore complex aircrafts to airworthy condition. According to the NAF spokesman, the reactivation process was conducted between June and September 2024 and involved meticulous planning and painstaking execution by a crack team of 5 engineering officers and 40 technicians from the NAF 431 Engineering Group, Kaduna. Akimboyewa said reactivation of the aircrafts required the application of advanced engineering techniques and adherence to stringent aviation standards, and attests to the NAF's growing technical expertise and resolute determination. The NAF spokesman said the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, had hailed the 431 engineer GP for their dedication and emphasized the broader import of their achievement. Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency has expressed its readiness to support the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency to fight illegal drug traders behind the importation and exportation of illicit, dangerous and unapproved drug business at the nation's seaports. The Director General of NIMASA, Dr. Dayo Mobereola, gave the assurance when the Executive Chairman of NDLEA, General Buba Marwa, visited the NIMASA Towers in Lagos. Speaking during the visit, Mobereola commended the NDLEA for its remarkable achievements in combating illegal drug businesses and arresting drug barons across the country. The NIMASA chief pledged that the agency would collaborate with the NDLEA to secure the nation's maritime domain against the illicit drug business and shipment into the country. He said that the NDLEA chairman's exemplary leadership has brought significant progress in the fight against illicit drugs in the country. In his response, Brigadier General Marwa expressed his gratitude for the warm reception given to him and his team by NIMASA and emphasized the need for collaboration to address the rising threat of drug trafficking through the maritime space. Marwa said the recent seizures of illicit drugs transported through Lagos ports underscores the need for joint efforts to secure our ports. The NDLEA chairman also pledged the agency's support in sensitizing NIMASA staff and cadets under the National Seafarers Development Program on the dangers of drug abuse. Lagos State Special Offences Court in Ikeja has assumed jurisdiction to hear the allegations of accepting gratification, corrupt demand and receiving property fraudulently obtained made against the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. Justice Rahman Oshodi, in his ruling delivered on Wednesday, held that the prosecution, the EFCC, successfully established that the court has territorial jurisdiction to entertain counts 8 to 20 of the 26 counts charged made against the former CBN governor based on various facts presented in the evidence attached to the case file. The court, however, agreed with lawyers to Emefiele that counts 1 to 4 of the charge are unconstitutional as they are not based on any existing laws in Nigeria. On April 8, 2024, the EFCC had arraigned Emefiele before the court on the 26 counts charge bordering on alleged abuse of office and irregular allocation of $4.5 billion and 2.8 billion naira, respectively. The former CBN governor was specifically mentioned in counts 1 to 4, as well as counts 8 to 26 bordering on alleged abuse of office, contrary to an punishable under Section 7.3 of the Criminal Law of Lagos 2011. In his ruling, Justice Oshodi noted that while counts 1 to 4 relate to the general offense of abuse of office as defined by criminal law, the specific conduct alleged in those counts, specifically the allocation of foreign exchange without a bid, is not defined as an offense in any written law. Justice Romano Shodit subsequently ruled that the objection challenging the court's territorial jurisdiction over counts 8 to 26 fails and is thereby dismissed, noting that the prosecution has established a sufficient territorial nexus to compel Emefiele to answer the charges. The court has adjourned to February 24 and 26 for continuation of the trial. Chidi Okoro Esquire, a social-political analyst, while speaking on Atlantic Television Network program Open Conversation, stated that every state has its own crisis and if not addressed can affect their electoral chances. He applauded the All Progressives Congress for recognizing the crisis as seeking resolution.
I think they are in the various states. As mentioned, over 8 states have their crisis. If they are not properly taken care of, it could affect their electoral chances 2027. So it is a good thing that they have discovered it, that no matter how little those crises are, you don't let crisis is like a drop of oil. If you don't clean it on time,
Similarly, Honorable Olaka urged All Progressives Congress to concentrate on resolving the crisis.
On the issue of resolving the problems and the crisis in the various state chapters of their party, and then keep the issue of winning the general election.
Recall that the ruling All Progressives Congress has said it's working hard to resolve crisis in state chapters before the 2027 general elections. Felix Morka, the National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressives Congress, has refuted claims that his remarks constituted a threat to the life of Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi and his family. Morka clarified his controversial statement during an interview on Wednesday, January 8, 2025, and challenged Obi to provide evidence of the alleged threats. The dispute began after Obi, in his New Year message, faced criticism from Morka, who remarked during an earlier interview that Obi has crossed the line so many times and added that whatever he has coming to him, he should manage it. Following the statement, Obi alleged that he and his family had received threats to their lives, which he linked to Morka's comments. He stated that since the interview aired, he had been inundated with messages, some of which contained direct threats. However, Morka dismissed Obi's claims as unfounded, insisting that his comments did not imply any harm to Obi. The APC spokesperson explained that his remarks were a response to criticisms of Obi's economic perspectives, which some have labeled as unrealistic. Addressing Obi's claims of threats, Morka called on him to substantiate his allegations. Morka reiterated that he had no intention of threatening Obi and emphasized that his earlier comment was strictly about Obi being labeled a voodoo economics for allegedly distorting facts. He maintains that the ex-governor of Anambra State deserved any such labels due to what Morka described as repeated falsehoods. The APC spokesperson urged Obi to present concrete evidence to law enforcement authorities, stressing the seriousness of such allegations and the need for accountability. Management of the National Youth Service Corps says cast members in the country will soon start receiving 77,000 naira as the monthly allowance. National Youth Service Corps Director General Brigadier General Y.D. Ahmed stated this in Abuja, according to a statement by NYSC spokesperson Caroline Embu. General Ahmed, who said his administration places a high priority on corps welfare, added that arrangements for the payment of new corps members' allowance have been concluded. The increase of the monthly allowance for corps members followed the review of Nigeria's minimum wage from 30,000 naira to 70,000 naira in July 2024. In 2020, the NYSC increased the allowance of corps members from 19,800 naira to 33,000 naira. Months after, a new minimum wage bill of 30,000 naira was signed. in July 2024. President Bola Tinubu signed the minimum wage bill into law, ending months of deliberations between government authorities, labor unions, and the private sector. Well, now we'll move on to business news. Nigeria's external reserves increased by $40.92 billion as of January 6, 2025, up from $40.292 billion recorded on December 2, 2024. This is according to the Central Bank of Nigeria's external reserves movement data retrieved by Newsman on Wednesday. The data showed an increase of $628 million on a month-on-month basis following the government's $2.2 billion Eurobond auction on December 2, 2024. This growth in Nigeria's external reserve is indicative of the effectiveness of the country's strategic measures in stabilizing its foreign exchange position amid mounting external and internal challenges. Meanwhile, it's worth noting that the proceeds from the Eurobond auction likely served as a vital financial cushion, helping to bolster the nation's external reserves in the period under review. Recall that in December last year, Nigeria raised $2.2 billion through its Eurobond auction, marking a pivotal moment in the country's ongoing efforts to address its growing fiscal deficit. Nigerians were faced with unprecedented economic challenges arising from the removal of fuel subsidies. This raises the price of food items, transportation, and many other goods in the markets that common man can afford to live on. 2024 was a tough year, and it ended leading Nigerians to hope for better years ahead, just as the government keep promising renewed hope in programs and policies to better Nigeria economy. It's 8 days in 2025, yet Nigerians wonders whether the year 2025 will bring the renewed hope promised to fulfillment, or they should expect another year of economic despair. On Atlantic Television Network Street Broadcast in Abuja, Joseph Moses Mawiyanka completes the report.
Hello and welcome to the Atlantic Television Network Street Broadcast. I am Joseph Moses Mawiyanka. 8 days is gone from 2025. Nigerians are really expecting something new from the government of Nigeria. And last year, 2024, was quite challenging, and there are many prospects of 2025 from Nigerians. And today we are out here to ask Nigerians of their expectation for the year 2025. What are they expecting from the government of Nigeria, and what will they be doing to better the year 2025?
To some extent, are doing their best to actually make things better. According to Mr. President himself, he is taking strict decisions for the betterment of tomorrow. But at the same time, his decision is causing a lot to Nigerians. There is hunger in the land, serious hunger, very serious hunger in the land. And I think if he did not manage this is so-called decision well, Nigeria may end up collapsing totally. But we are expecting, according to him, his promises, despite the fact that we are still facing this severe hunger, we are still expecting that his own policies and decisions may change for better tomorrow. That is our expectations for the new year. We are hoping that Nigeria change for better according to his own promises.
Now listen to me. See, Nigerians, to me, we deceive ourselves a lot. There's too much deception in what we are doing here. I've said it times without number. The only solution that comes to my mind, though I stand to be corrected, the only solution that comes to my mind right now is to shut everything down. Nothing is working where you can't continue to progress in error and expect results. See, everything, the entire sector of this country is not working yet. What do we need to do? How can you continue to build something on nothing? From 1960 to date, there is no single sector of this country that is getting it right. Does that send any message to anybody who cares to listen? How can you continue like this? A country of this huge population, The power is not working, the economy is not working, the security is not, seems not to be working. Nothing absolutely is working right now. Why keeping deceiving ourselves, for crying out loud? The best thing to do, for me, shut this thing down. Let's start afresh. Bring in homegrown policies that is Nigerian-centric, that can confront our challenges frontally. Let's stop importing policies from everywhere. You see policy, you copy and paste and bring it here, and it's not working. And create homegrown solution to our homegrown problems. That's what I think should be done. So all this jamboree, all this grammar, all this talking and speaking grammar is not working. We should sit down, everybody should sit down. The president sit down, everybody sit down, and let's look ourselves eyeball to eyeball. Let's begin to solve our problem by ourselves. And forget about all these cock and book stories, forget about all these imported foreign policies that has never worked.
2024 obviously was a challenging year, just as the year before was. And we have to understand that the economy of the world has been challenged by two factors, underlying factors, because you cannot build something on nothing. So if African leadership over time have not been able to, fortify our security, then we become prone and open for external aggressors to perpetrate their banditry and criminality in African countries. So that is on the one side. Then nature in itself, which is the climate change, has dealt a heavy blow on our agriculture, on the climate that affects our agriculture and food security. So things are definitely bound to be so. If you can also recall that in the recent past in this country, we've been dealing with a problem of corruption, by those who are saddled with responsibilities, to bring to bear the policies and programs of government on the country. And now here comes a new government a year and a half ago. The government says, okay, it's been so bad, and these are our programs. Naturally, when something happens, there must be a period of gestation. Gestation period must happen, whereby we have to bear the brunt, of the challenges before we gradually, get to that proverb. Uhuru yet. We are not out of the woods yet, but the various programs that this government is doing currently in Nigeria testifies, give us a testament that definitely things shall be better soon and very soon. You can imagine over 1,300 nano businesses to be affected by credit, single-digit credit, times 774 local government. It's wonderful. The credit for students is ongoing. Over 5 million households has accessed the 25,000 naira grant, as the case may be. And quite a number of programs. There's going to be silos, open grains, for Nigerians. But my particular counsel and advice to our government is that we have to make sure that we take advantage, as they have been doing currently, and they need to do more. Each local government in Nigeria has mineral resources or mineral resource. We can establish prototype, prefabricated factories to manufacture, to commercialize those mineral resources. And by the time we have those established in the 774 local governments, industrialization will start. There will be more jobs for the people and all whatnot. So I wish government well. And I just encourage fellow Nigerians, let's be patient. It shall be well.
Thank you for staying with us. This is still the street broadcast of ATN Abuja, and you have heard Nigerians listing out things they expect from the government of Nigeria, as well as their own efforts to make Nigeria better. We are praying and hoping that Nigeria this year, 2025, will be better than the year 2024. I am Joseph Moses Mawinka, ATN News, Abuja.
Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture say that the nature of the oversubscription of the $2 billion Eurobond confirms the coupon offered was beyond market offers. The president of NASIMA, Mr. Dele Oye, disclosed this in the report tagged Options for Economic Reform and Consequences for the Medium-Term Expenditure Framework for 2025-2027. NASIMA New Year message to members and Nigerians obtained by newsman Oye, while congratulating the financial team for a successful outing, stated that the offer was received with mixed feelings. Oye said the successful Eurobond offer was received with mixed feelings. We congratulate the financial team on a successful outing. However, the nature of oversubscription confirms the coupon offered was beyond market offers. ATN reported last month that Nigeria returned to the international capital markets for the first time in 2 years, issuing Eurobonds to bridge its growing fiscal deficit. Nigeria issued a dual tranche Eurobond offering under its Global Medium-Term Notes program to finance the country's 2024 fiscal deficit. The issuance was oversubscribed in excess of $9 billion. However, the federal government eventually took just $2.2 billion across both bonds. The federal government sold $700 million worth of the 6.5-year Eurobond maturing in 2031 at a coupon rate of 9.625% and $1.5 billion of the 10-year tenor at 10.375%. This marks Nigeria's first Eurobond issuance since March 2022, signaling a renewed effort to address the country's fiscal challenges. Demand for foreign exchange in the third quarter of 2024 dropped primarily due to a significant decline in invisible transactions. This was indicated in the latest quarterly statistical bulletin published by the Central Bank of Nigeria on its website. Invisible transactions are non-physical transactions such as school fees, student maintenance allowances, medical and other eligible transactions. The CBN data showed that the total utilization of foreign exchange by various sectors of the economy fell by 11% quarter-on-quarter to $5.7 billion. In third quarter 2024. However, on a year-on-year basis, the aggregate sectoral utilization of FX increased significantly by 72%. The modest dip in third quarter was blamed on the drop in FX usage for invisible transactions, which decreased by 32% quarter-on-quarter to $2.2 billion. As a result, its share of total FX usage decreased to 39%, down from 51% recorded in second quarter 2024. Analyzing the report, experts at FBN Quest said that FX utilization by the financial sector, which typically dominates FX usage within the invisible segment, was the major driver behind the marked quarter-on-quarter decline. The Pension Fund Operators Association of Nigeria has revealed that the dearth of real estate investment trust on the market has seen investment in that segment shrink over the years. This was disclosed in an analysis of the investment of investments of PFAs in REITs and real estate in the past 5 years, shared on its official Instagram page on Tuesday. According to the Nigerian Exchange Limited, REITs are corporations or trusts that use the pooled capital of many investors to purchase and manage income property and or mortgage loans. REITs are traded on NGX just like stocks. You can buy or sell REITs through your stockbroker as with other types of shares. The PEN-OP analysis showed that investment in REITs had declined from a high of 239.28 billion naira in 2022 to 20.06 billion naira at the end of 2024. Within the 5 years, the lowest point was in 2022 when investment in REITs dropped to 14.14 billion naira from 153.52 billion naira in 2021. It, however, recorded slightly to 21.04 billion naira in 2023 before the latest decline in 2024. Pen OP said the gradual drop in investment in REITs is due to the dearth of REITs available in the market. However, active funds have shifted to investing in real estate through private equity funds. Unlike active funds, closed pension funds invest directly in real estate and have invested nearly 300 billion naira in direct real estate in 2024. You're still watching the news on Atlantic Television Network. Up next is International Tidbits. United Kingdom has implemented its electronic travel authorization scheme for visitors from dozens of additional countries, including the United States, Canada, and Australia. The system aimed at tightening border security took effect on Wednesday, allowing eligible travelers to enter Britain with pre-travel authorization, according to AFP. The ETA, which costs £10 and permits stays of up to 6 months within 2 years, was first introduced in 2023, beginning with Qatar. Last year, it expanded to include 5 Gulf countries and now covers citizens from approximately 50 more nations, such as Argentina, Brazil, New Zealand, Japan, South Korea, and several Caribbean territories. Travelers required to use the system can apply via an app, with applications for these newly added countries opening last November. By April, the scheme is expected to extend to European Union countries and other territories. From March 5th, travelers in these regions can begin applying for ETAs. The system applies to visitors transiting through the UK as well as to children and infants. However, British and Irish citizens, residents, and those holding passports from British overseas territories are exempt. London's Heathrow Airport has opposed the scheme, saying its rollout has reduced the number of passengers transiting through the UK, making the country less competitive and harming economic growth. This development parallels Europe's forthcoming ETIAS system, which is expected to begin later this year. Two Nigerian nationals, Olutayo Sunday Ogunlaja, 39 years old, and Abel Adeyi Daramola, 37 years old, have been slammed with up to 20 years jail terms in a United States prison after a federal jury found them guilty of masterminding a $560,000 romance scam. U.S. Attorney Alexander Ubalis and Special Agent in charge of the FBI Albuquerque Field Office, Raul Bojanda, revealed through the Department of Justice that Ogunlaja and Daramola were convicted of perpetrating the scam following a 4-day trial under 3 hours of jury deliberation. The U.S. Attorney's Office, in a statement, stated that the two Nigerians, in partnership with other accomplices, initiated a scheme in January 2016 using a fabricated identity, Glenn Brown, on the dating website eharmony.com. They revealed that the fraudulent profile was later used to establish a romantic relationship with the victim in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Along with other accomplices, the defendants allegedly obtained thousands of US dollars from the victim. The victim sent approximately $560,000 to various accounts in the United States, Canada, and Malaysia between January 2016 and April 2017. Though Daramola was said to have denied involvement in the romance scheme, a statement from the FBI Albuquerque Field Office revealed that text and WhatsApp messages on his phone exposed his role in supplying bank accounts for the multiple fraud schemes. The statement highlighted that Ogunlaja's involvement included using his Bank of American accounts for receiving fraudulent funds. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump asked the Supreme Court on Wednesday to block his sentencing this week for covering up hush money payments to a porn star while he appeals his conviction. Trump made the 11th hour plea for suspension of the criminal proceedings to the nation's highest court after a New York State appeals court dismissed his efforts to have the hearing delayed. He is scheduled to be sentenced on Friday. Trump was convicted in May of falsifying business records to cover up the payment made to porn star Stormy Daniels on the eve of the 2016 election to stop her from revealing an alleged 2006 sexual encounter. Trump is frantically seeking to avoid facing punishment before he is sworn in on January 20 for a second term as president. His lawyers have brought several legal maneuvers in an effort to fend off the sentencing, which the judge in the case, Joan Merchant, has already indicated in a filing will not result in jail time. In the previous filing to the New York court, Trump's counsel had argued that sentencing should be postponed while the Republican appealed his conviction, but Associate Justice Ellen Gesma rejected that on Tuesday. Trump's lawyers also claimed that the immunity from prosecution granted to a president should be extended to a president-elect. But Gesma also brushed those arguments aside. His attorneys had further sought to have the case dismissed based on the Supreme Court's landmark ruling last year that former U.S. presidents have sweeping immunity from prosecution for a range of official acts committed while in office. Two teenage sisters were arrested in Pakistan for killing their father by setting him on fire in revenge for rape, police said on Wednesday. The father was attacked in the Punjabi city of Gujranwala on January 1st and taken to hospital where he died on Tuesday. Rizwan Tariq, a senior police official in the city, told newsmen that the girls say that they decided amongst themselves to find a permanent solution. He added that they then took petrol from a motorcycle and set their father on fire as he slept. The pair, who are stepsisters, say their father had been raping the eldest girl for a year and had twice attempted to rape the younger girl. The mothers, who are both married to the man, knew about the abuse but did not know of the revenge plan. AFP has not named the man in order to protect the identities of the girls, one of whom is from a previous marriage. One of the wives has also been arrested while the second is being questioned. Tariq added that they expect to present them before the court in a few days as soon as they finish the investigation. United Arab Emirates has updated its Golden Visa program for the year 2025, providing new opportunities for investors, entrepreneurs, skilled professionals, and outstanding students to gain long-term residency in the country. The United Arab Emirates Golden Visa is designed to attract talent and investment to the country, offering long-term residency for individuals and families, allowing them to live, work, and study in the United Arab Emirates without the need for a sponsor. The visa is valid for 5 to 10 years, offering residents stability and opportunities to build a future in the country. The Golden Visa is open to a wide range of applicants, including investors, entrepreneurs, specialized professionals, and high-achieving students. The new changes make it easier for expatriates and their families to gain stable residency in the United Arab Emirates and aim to attract global talent and investment. Updates added to the program to broaden UAE's appeal and accessibility to the Gold Visa program include off-plan property investments, entrepreneurs with innovative business ideas, or those supported by approval incubators are eligible for the Golden Visa. Similarly, high school and university students with a GPA of 3.8 or higher are now eligible for the Golden Visa and can sponsor their families, including parents and siblings, into the United Arab Emirates. Also, real estate investments must now be fully paid for and cannot be financed by loans in order to qualify for the visa. Here now is ATN Sports News. National Association of Nigerian Students has knocked the Nigerian Football Federation over its decision to hire a former coach of the Malian senior team, Eric Sikol Shirley, as the new head coach of the Super Eagles. NANS, in a statement signed by the clerk of the Senate, NANS National Headquarters Abdul Yakin Odunayo, on Wednesday described the appointment of the new Super Eagles tactical tactician without any outstanding pedigree is an aberration. The NFF Executive Committee had on Tuesday, 7th January 2025, announced Charlie as the new coach of the Super Eagles. However, Nance faulted the appointment, describing it as a slap on the country, saying there are better and more experienced coaches both in Nigeria and Europe. The student body noted that Charlie, since he became the head coach of Malian senior male national team in 2022, did not qualify the country for the World Cup or win the African Cup of Nations. The association contended that there are several Nigerian coaches with better pedigrees and CVs than Charlie, urging the NFF to search for a coach locally if an African coach is their preferred choice. Nance urged the NFF to reconsider its decision and look within in appointing a Nigerian or any other person in Europe as the Super Eagles coach. The student body also tasked the NFF to groom more local coaches and encourage them by giving them national assignment instead of appointing a half-baked coach from Africa. And that's the size of the package in the global news for tonight. Before we go, another look at the major stories. We told you that police raises alarm over surge in missing persons case. We also told you that NDLEA in Lamasa partnered to combat drug trafficking. We also told you that Tinubu celebrates Pa Ige Imokwede at 90. You also heard that Nigeria's external reserves increases to $40.920 billion. You heard U.S. court sentences